And then she didn't sign it, but and as much as I'd like to say, oh my gosh, that's so ridiculous, it stings. I'm not going to lie. That stings when you put your heart and soul into the work you're doing. Hey, Empowered Vegan Lifers, Ella here with my co-host. Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, Ella. How's it going today?
Actually, I've got some energy today.
Do you?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
I don't know. Some days you just have that oomph,
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
I got the oomph today.
Today's the oomph day.
It is. And then I went and got in a good workout and put something on Instagram because I'm really working on like the calisthenics and core strength. Have you ever seen those people that do the flag? It's called the flag. And it's where you're sideways, like you hold on to some sort of a pole and you basically stick your entire body out horizontally, parallel to the floor with straight arms.
I have seen these mythical creatures. Yes.
Yes. Well, I've got these goals. Like I want to be able to do things that I can't do right now. It's just, some people have that drive when it comes to fitness and some don't. And there's, it's not good or bad. It's just, it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I got
absolutely. Yeah. Really? I don't.
Well, that's why we make such a great couple.
We are such a great couple.
Because I feel like we do really represent the population pretty well because, it's just like, I kind of think about it like the eat to live or live to eat, you're one or the other kind of a person.
Yeah.
And I think exercise is similar.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I think so too. I enjoy exercising. And I have small goals, but they're more get through the day kind of goals and let's get on with it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, some people work out because they know it's good for them and it feels good when they're doing it. And sure, you get that afterwards, feeling good about yourself and what you've done.
Right.
But you don't necessarily like get up out of bed and say, I can't wait to get to the gym today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day.
Very true. Very true. Although I will say I love my swimming routine.
I love that you're swimming in the morning. That's fantastic.
I do too. Yeah, I do too. I feel like it's our own little tiny club. See the same people. We don't really talk, of course. Swimming's not like a social sport, or whatever. But yeah, I have my little peeps there that I see every morning.
I love that. And I've actually got a celebration today that's related to working out. And related to body image and all the things that we talk about so much. I wanted to share about my wrist injury and what that's done inside my head, because I haven't really talked about that because I've worked through it thanks to the tools that we have here. So it doesn't even, I don't know if you know what I mean when I say it doesn't hardly faze me, even though I had these thoughts, and I'll share the thoughts I had when I first went to the orthopedic, and he very quickly said, oh yeah, you can't move that wrist. You're going to be in a brace for 6 weeks. You can't take it off, only to shower or it will never heal. And my first programmed thought was, oh my God, I can't work out. I can't continue my workout routine. I was making such headway and I was building so much strength and was really into it. And now I can't. And not only am I not going to be able to progress on the skills, but maybe I'm going to gain weight. Wow. And I'm not going to have that stress relief. And there's so many fears that came up, but gaining weight, just like anybody else, came up in my head. And the cool thing was right away, and this is what we keep telling everybody who's in Vegan Life Coach Academy and all you listeners out there who are following what we're talking about here in the self-empowerment coaching system, which is episode 7. If you haven't listened to that, definitely go check it out.
Yeah.
But it happens automatically. So it was in no time. I mean, I can go through it now in slow motion, but it was like, I observed those thoughts
Yeah.
and immediately, without even really being that conscious of it, flip the switch.
Yeah.
And said, what a great opportunity for me to give my body some time to rest, which I don't do very often.
Absolutely.
And what a great opportunity for me to probably get in a little more work because I'll be working out a little less. You know, really stay focused on other things that I don't have time for because I work out quite a bit. And what a great time I can use that time to discover new foods and set myself up in the kitchen as well. And so those things just all came to me, and I did not get to the anxiety piece. Like, I recognized the thought before. I felt a little anxiety, but it went away as soon as I flipped that switch.
Yeah.
And I've been completely fine, which is incredible for me. You know, this would have completely thrown me off. It would have spun me into a cycle of, I remember when I injured my hip years ago, and it spun me into this cycle of, I'm going to juice. I was like, well, if I can't work out, then all I can do is drink juice. You know, and those were my, 10 plus years of disordered eating and distorted body image and all of that, combined to, and that's what I did. I made juices every day, and I wouldn't eat. And, I look back on that and the stress that brought about and the self-sabotage that it always eventually leads to.
Right.
And to be free from that, and we talk about freedom so much, to be free from that grip of that fear is the most empowering feeling to me. And to be able to acknowledge that and recognize that and talk about it and tell people about it, that there is relief, there are tools. And that's what we're aiming to do, is to teach you guys those tools.
Absolutely.
So that's my celebration.
Yeah. Change your thoughts, change your life. I mean, that's such a great example of that.
I'm not even done.
Oh.
I was at the gym today doing some core work.
Yeah.
And do you know that I am more, at least I appear to be more fit now than I was a month ago? So what I'm discovering, is this time where I'm doing less intensity, less time in the gym, I'm actually still seeing the results, possibly because I was overtraining before.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So I was even spinning my wheels and spending this extra time and energy in the gym. You always think that the more time and energy you spend in the gym, the better the results, but not always the case. And that's, I think, really, really important, especially for us fitness freaks. Well, I'll just call us fitness freaks who, would love to live in the gym.
Right.
To know that overtraining is equally as harmful to our bodies as undertraining. So really important. And I've been continuing to eat healthy whole foods, but not go crazy about it, still have my balance, and everything's working out just great. So I wanted to share that. I wanted to share that with you guys.
There's always opportunity. In any situation, there's always an opportunity. It's really a matter of looking for the opportunity, and sometimes they present themselves just like this without even, looking for them. But if you weren't open to that by changing your thought at the beginning, then that opportunity would not have presented itself in the way that it did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Thank you. You're welcome. How about we do a Lovin' on the Haters segment?
Oh, let's do it.
Okay, because I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
So as you all may or may not know, and if you're listening to this later, this will not really apply, but we had a really quick open the door for 48 hours to Vegan Life Coach Academy just a week ago.
Yeah.
Right? So we sent out a bunch of emails before, making sure everybody knew that we were opening the doors, and it was only for a very brief period of time. We're going to do a bigger open door in a few months. But we got a few people that had issues with our emails.
Oh boy.
Yes. So I want to share first a Lovin' on the lovers, because let's start with something positive.
Yeah.
So, well, first, Lovin on the Lovers, we had one of our members do a post the other day, and she said, okay, fessing up, I weighed myself yesterday, just curious, haven't done it in months. It was actually a total surprise. I've been living my values, liberated from food anxiety, and it showed on the scale. So now I'm dying to go back and check to make sure it wasn't a fluke. Keep thinking about it instead of the things that are actually important to me. Not gonna. Ella is right, of course. Chuck the scale.
That's right. So, get rid of that thing.
That's right. So isn't that phenomenal?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And you know what's phenomenal about all of that is liberated from food anxiety. You know, who cares about the number on the scale? I mean, I'll be honest, it just is such, I mean, we should all throw our scales away, but liberated from food anxiety. I mean, that's what this is all about.
Yes, living in line with your values and feeling free.
Yeah.
Free from the grip, having your own power over your food choices, over all your choices in your life. And really owning that power.
Absolutely.
So I wanted to share that one first. So now there's the hater.
Uh-oh.
All right. Miss A said, your business is a scam worth thousands of dollars? Waiting list? I really wanted to join, but I can't take your false closed program waiting list. I found a different option for information and online workouts. And then she didn't sign it, but and as much as I'd like to say, oh my gosh, that's so ridiculous, it stings. I'm not going to lie. That stings when you put your heart and soul into the work you're doing and you care so much about the people you work with. It stings. I'm not going to lie. However, taking it through that self-empowerment coaching system, you turn it around. And the truth is, we know the truth, right? And the people that are in our program know the truth. And to be honest, it is a closed program and there is a waiting list, and the people on the waiting list will get a bonus when they sign up. And that bonus this time was part of their fee being donated to Hogs and Kisses Farm Sanctuary. So, and the doors are not open now. They're open again maybe in a few months. We don't even know exactly. So I feel, that we haven't compromised our integrity, but yes, we got to market. It's a business.
It is a business. And we want to draw people in, and it's not about, tricking somebody into signing up. We really want you aboard if you want to be aboard. So
if you want to be aboard.
Yeah.
And you know what, we also put out as much free content as possible. I mean, this podcast, this is all about teaching people, and it costs people nothing. So it's really, it feels good to me, and I know to you too, to be able to provide that free content, and then to also have the membership as like the next level, right? And then the 6-week coaching program is the next level after that. Right. So we got levels, and we try to include everybody to be able to do at least one of those levels. And so let's send some love to this hater.
Yep. Miss A, you are loved.
Miss A, sending you love. Loving on you, hater. All right. One more thing to share. One more celebration from one of our members. It's a celebration for our Members Day, apparently. Speaking of freedom, because that's how we're starting this podcast episode. This person, and I think she would be fine if we told her name, Svetlana.
Yeah.
We love Svetlana. Yes. So she said, I'm no longer an addict to chocolate or peanut butter. And that peanut butter, man.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It is
that's a big one for people. Yeah.
Yeah. What? Yeah. Peanut butter. Anyway, she is no longer an addict to chocolate or peanut butter. It's literally in my house, but I'm not touching it. I lost appetite for it. I embraced the power of other carbs, and I'm not afraid of them. I'm eating tons of potatoes daily. I don't remember when I ate so much. I'm learning Asian dishes and sushi almost weekly in my house. Without hesitation, I truly can say I love my body, and I am proud for being able to work out. I'm loving myself. and this was right before the new year. She said, 2021, I'm coming for you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she is too. Svetlana is a powerhouse. I love that.
She sure is. All right. Well, let's get into this topic, which these are your exact words, Stephanie.
Oh gosh.
When we did our little brainstorm of what topic we should do next. And you said many, you were on fire that day. But the one that really stood out to me was you said, if you want to get shit done like a boss lady, you have to forget about being a perfectionist.
Yes, it's true.
Love that.
That's true. That would be a good t-shirt.
That would
be an excellent t-shirt.
Yeah. Or just one of those memes, and we got to put that up on the site. What do you think perfectionism really means, Stephanie? Can you talk to perfectionism in general?
Yeah, I think perfectionism is kind of a disease. We get into these thought patterns of everything has to be perfect. Everything has to have its place. Everything has to, fall into place correctly, and that we are responsible for everything going just so within our lives. And when we are a perfectionist, we are really discounting the good, and perfectionism also is just a completely unattainable state. So we're reaching for things that aren't true. We've put ourselves in this kind of sense of, something that just isn't reality. So when someone is a perfectionist, they're really striving for things that just can't happen for them.
Yeah, I am definitely a recovering perfectionist.
Yeah.
It's still something I'm able to acknowledge and recognize, usually when it's happening, and to be able to build the business and be an entrepreneur and actually get shit done, you got to let it go.
You do.
It's just, there's only one way about it. But do you think, we talk about in the self-empowerment coaching system, core beliefs, right? Mm-hmm. Our programming, our subconscious programming, and the core beliefs that we have programmed into us.
Yeah.
What core beliefs are usually there, or if that even makes sense, when it comes to somebody who would be considered a perfectionist?
Yeah, I think it often stems from I'm not good enough. I'm not enough. Unless I do this, then I am not worthy of love. Unless I can complete a task or can form my life in this perfect scenario, then no one can love me. Mm-hmm. It's so based on conditions. And so those are just a couple of them. Of course, they can be a lot of different things. The fear that you're not capable of criticism, or handling criticism, the fear of you're not capable of handling your life, or that if you don't have it all right, it's all going to fall apart. A lot of times it comes, I think, from a place of real anxiety, mm-hmm. That if I don't get this all completely correct, then nothing is correct. And so it kind of all falls from there. Yeah.
Yeah. What I just thought of when you were saying that was the profound connection between perfectionism for some and people pleasing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hadn't really connected those. We talk about perfectionism as one topic and people pleasing as another topic. But I think for me, that's a large part of it is, I've got to get this just right, or I will disappoint somebody, mm-hmm. or I'll piss somebody off, mm-hmm. Or I will affect somebody else in a negative way. So it's not even about me.
Yeah. But even people pleasing at the heart of it is centered on the self. It's really about, how can I please others so that I'm okay? Mm-hmm. Yes. And so, yeah, there's a very strong connection between the two.
Agreed. You're not a perfectionist, are you?
I'm not. And I've always been a little bit type B. in my whole life. But there have been times when I have kind of dipped into perfectionism out of anxiety and that sort of thing. But, this isn't something that I struggle with all the time. But I do struggle with people around me who are perfectionists. And I think this is where this topic grew out of, as I was struggling with somebody who is a perfectionist. And I just went in and just got shit done, because you have to, in certain ways. And I do have people that ask me, how do you do so much? Because I have a very full life. And I have people that ask me this, and this is what I say to them. My life isn't perfect, and I love it anyway. If you come over to my house, it is not going to be, it's just not going to be neat and tidy. That's just not who I am. There are things that I have to let go so that other things can come into my life that I enjoy spending my time with. And part of having a full life is deciding what you love and really not giving two F's about the rest of it. Decide what you're going to care about and make that the focal point of your life.
You know what a great way to expand your plate. We always talk about, right? We always talk about how full our plates are.
Yeah.
And when we think outside the box and say, okay, well, we've got a full plate. Well, we don't necessarily have to give up things, but we got to find a way to expand our plates.
Yeah.
And I feel like letting go of the perfectionism is a great way to expand your plate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's interesting. It's all about where your energy goes.
Well, yeah, exactly. And you only have so much of it. And so, even if you're, even if you are an energized little bunny, you are not, there's only so much. It is finite. You do need to rest. You do need to take care of yourself. And so spending it on those things and making things perfect, which is that unattainable goal, is spending your energy needlessly. And in a way that isn't going to give you the life that you really, really want.
So true. I remember when I was just creating the first version of the Plant Empowered Coaching Program, and to create and record videos, trainings, right? Wow. Okay. So at first, do you know how long that took me to do the first set of those?
Because I can only imagine.
I know, exactly. Every slide had to be perfect. I had to say everything just right. And it took me hours and hours and hours on hours. Guess what it takes me now?
The time that it takes to do it.
Exactly. And the business has only grown.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not perfect, but it's powerful. Yeah. And it gets the points across, and it shows that I'm a human being like everybody else.
Very true. Very true.
What can people do with this information? What can those who do struggle with perfectionism, what simple steps can they take starting right now to start to work on this?
Yeah, I think probably the first one is to take it day by day and decide what your priorities are. And by deciding what your priorities are, I'm not talking about external things that are creating your priorities. I'm talking about internal things that are important to you, and just pick a few, maybe 3 at the most, and decide what gets your energy. It's not about time. It's about energy. What gets your energy first? If that happens to be that, that you want to spend all day nitpicking at, a certain project, and that's your only priority of the day, well, then so be it. But probably you have more things in your life that you want to invite in. So I think that's probably the first thing, the first strategy that I would use is day by day, decide where your energy goes and be very intentional about it. So that when these thoughts creep in that every little part of your life has to be perfect, then, you can challenge those thoughts. Say, well, this is not where my energy gets to go today. And by doing this, then you're setting yourself up for a habit, right? You are kind of dismissing the thought of perfectionism taking over your life, and daily you're choosing where you want that energy to go, and hopefully setting yourself up for success in that.
Oh, so powerful. And in February for Vegan Life Coach Academy, this goes right along with our mindset theme of the month, which is where your attention goes, energy flows.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so another way of, talking about that, and what the mindset challenge is, first thing in the morning before you do anything else, is to set that intention for the day, and create the mantra that will help you keep that intention throughout the day and carry it with you. Put it on a sticky note, put reminders on your phone. When we're talking about reprogramming here and breaking habits, it doesn't come easily. We've got to be reminded, and we've got to set ourselves up to be reminded. In whatever way works for you. I mean, I have glass markers. I write things on my bathroom mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. So great one. Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah. So the second one is to ask yourself, and this takes a little bit more soul searching, and is probably a little bit longer process than just a quick strategy to something to do every day, but to really ask yourself, what is perfectionism doing for me? And take a really, really honest look at it. And, if it's really, your life is fantastic, and then maybe there's nothing to worry about. But if you're finding that by asking yourself that question, and you're not quite living the life that you want, a life that's filled with frustration and always feeling like you're never enough, then that's something that's probably important to look a little bit deeper into.
So true. Wow. That's a big one.
That is a big one.
And I love how you talked about, hey, if it's working for you, what's the problem?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So for the last one, I think it's really important to look at your life. And if you're not ready to give up perfectionism all in one fell swoop, not ready to quit perfectionism cold turkey, take a look at your life and see where you can give it up. Maybe your bathroom needs to be perfectly spotless at all times, but you don't really care if the living room is. Or maybe at work, you need to be very, very on top of your game, but at home, you can relax that a little bit. Maybe you even need to take it down to just very small tasks where good enough can be good enough. And then you can start to really look at the perfectionism issue while you're actually actively taking part in, giving it up.
That's genius.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, no, I have to say. And I think we do get overwhelmed trying to think, where so many of us are those all or nothing people, right? And that's how we would describe ourselves.
Yeah. I think all or something is probably a much better motto.
Especially when it comes to something like this. Okay, quick question, totally off topic, because we've gotten our 3 tips in for the day. What does it mean, quit cold turkey? What is that referring to?
I have no idea.
Is that like a cold turkey, like a dead turkey in the refrigerator waiting to be eaten?
I don't know where it comes from.
It doesn't even really make sense to me.
It really doesn't make any sense. Because why would you quit cold turkey? Like, why is that a thing? You're right.
Yeah, we talk about language all the time, and so every time I hear, and we hear it a lot, once you start noticing how many sayings like that we have that are really detrimental to animals, that are cruel and unusual punishment to animals, it's awful.
It is. The etymology of it all must be horrendous. Just absolutely horrendous. Yeah.
I mean, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Who came up with that? That's terrible.
I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, let's put it out there.
Yeah.
We need some
I'm sure
alternatives.
somebody can probably. If I were a perfectionist, I would go Google it right now, but I'm not. So I'm going to let somebody else Google it and tell us what we're saying.
Okay, well, that person might be me.
Well, I would expect nothing less.
Yes. All right, just because I want to come up with replacements, and some of them are hard to replace. Like
some of them are very hard to replace, especially when you don't use them all the time.
Yeah. And they seem perfect for, to get your point across, but you don't want to say them because you don't want to promote that cruelty.
Right. Or you don't even think about it.
Yeah, I think about it now every time.
Because it's just a turn of phrase that's.
And then I have to wonder if I should point it out or not, because then I feel like I'm being a picky. But I think it's important. Language is important.
Language is important. Absolutely. Particularly the language that you speak with, of course, speaking with others, of course, we have to always be careful, but you should be just as careful with yourself. Mm-hmm. The language that we adopt as our inner thought life is monumentally important.
Agreed. Well, cool. Thanks, Stephanie, for being here.
You're welcome. Yes, of course.
It's not the same without you.
Well, I love doing it with you.
All right, you guys, if you have not shared this with your loved ones, please do so. There's something in here for everybody. Imagine if everybody in the world had these tools. What life would be like.
Absolutely.
A beautiful thing. Yeah. All right, guys, until next time.